Oh, it's No Face Movements, March 12th, 2013. And I've been out for a few days getting some rest, trying to get better, folks. Alright. Hopefully I do get better. But something out there is trying to stop us. I'm gonna keep moving the movement. Seeing a lot of my subscribers start doing their own video, and I'm glad to see it. Keep moving the movement, folks. Alright, it's more than just me. Alright, gotta keep moving this movement. Alright, thanks everyone out there. They gave me prayers and sent me private emails asking for me to get better. But we've been seeing a lot of strange stuff the past few years, from crazy weather to asteroids and meteorites, to sinkholes, to earthquakes, volcanoes, chemtrails. This is all part of terraforming our Earth, and it's not just from species outside of Earth, but it's also from our own galactic plane, from lining up the central galactic planes, pulling at our crust, and it's changing our Earth and making it expand. On top of that, something is terraforming our Earth using HARP, using chemtrails. The meteorites that are coming into Earth, they're not all just meteorites. There are other things too, folks, and it's changing our weather. It causes red rain in India with microbialism in the rain, DNA cells. Kind of strange, right? Mysterious booms, mysterious sounds, um, and there's different reason for that, from the lining up the central galactic plane, pulling on our upper atmosphere, and from fracking from underneath our Earth, folks. All right. But here, right here, we got mysterious smell. Get up nose of North Sweden residents. Let's get into it.
Mysterious smell gets up noses of North Swindon residents. A mystery pong is causing concern for people living in North Swindon. The Environment Agency and Swindon Council's environmental health team are working to identify the smell, which has been noticed by residents for the last 2 to 3 weeks, mainly in the Oakhurst, Tall Hill, and Red House areas. Count Emma Farmarzi, North Swindon locality chairman, said it could be something like the farmers putting slurry on the fields. But people aren't stupid, and they know the difference when something is natural or not. It's a complete mystery. It's a mystery to us and the Environment Agency. The Environment Agency have now asked Swindon Council Environmental Health to come out and investigate as well. It's a real team effort. All I have been doing for this last week is fielding these calls and emails about it from residents. Councillor Marzi said there have been about 100 complaints about the smell on the Priory Vale Facebook page and the Priory Vale Residents Association Facebook page, with people saying they notice it at weekends and overnight. Some people are saying it's like sewage. Some people are saying it's gassy and really strongly sulfury. That's how they're describing it to us, she said. Councillor Marzi has opened up a case with the Environment Agency, which she said had investigated the Hills Waste Solutions site at Chapel Farm, Bloomston, as a possible source, but officials had not found any evidence it came from there. She said, what the Environment Agency have asked me to do is just collect all the comments and keep sending them in. What we're advised is to tell people to keep reporting it over and over and over again, because the more they report it, the more of a picture the officers can get to try and work out what it is. Peter Goodfellow of Red House said that he had been noticing the smell for months, but it has become more noticeable in the last few weeks. He said it has been going on for a couple of weeks now. It is a pretty pungent smell, and it is periodic, so it is not there all of the time. There have been suggestions it is from the farms, but it is not that kind of smell. It is a strong methane and sulfuric smell. Emma Faramarzi is in contact with residents and the environmental agency, and I think residents would just like to know what it is. It is not a nice smell, and there have been reports of the smell in other parts of Swindon. In a letter to Councillor Marzi, the EA said, in order to try and get a bigger picture last week, we spoke to the environmental health officer at Swindon Council. She is going to raise the problem across the environmental health team and get back to us. If residents have any local knowledge of things taking place at local farms, development sites, or industrial units, etc., that might be relevant, I am sure we would like to hear. A council spokesman said the council's environmental enforcement team have received a small number of complaints about this over the last couple of weeks. They have ranged from a sewage smell through petrol-like and sulfurous to burning rubber. Members of the team have been out trying to identify the odor and track down its source, without success so far. Visits have been made to a fuel depot and a private sewage installation, and these have been excluded from the investigation.
Alright, folks. It's a mysterious smell. And there's two things that's happening here. It's either in this place, I highly doubt that they're fracking, or there's an earthquake that's about to happen. You get methane and sulfur smell when places start to move. Or, so if you're living in this area, I got warnings and watches for earthquakes for the next 2 weeks. Alright? When you start smelling methane and sulfur coming out the ground, that's from deep gas within our Earth. Alright, folks, let's move on. They found mysterious slime, alright, in Antarctica. Oh, my bad. They found mysterious slime in an Australian cave. That's our next article. Let's get into it. And it's weird looking.
The mysterious alien slime found deep underwater in an Australian cave. Divers found a group of organisms in the cave slimes known as the Thermarchaeota. This community of microbes thrives in the total dark, independent of photosynthesis. Divers have found a bizarre alien slime in water-filled underground caves beneath Australia's Nullarbor Plain. Researchers were stunned to find life in the deep cave. They reported unique curtains of biological material, now known as Nullarbor cave slimes. This is the picture. A curtain of slime found by Australian divers in water-filled underground caves beneath Nullarbor Plain. So there's a picture of the slime, folks.
And if you look at the slime, it's weird. It's white. We're going to see more pictures of it as we move to the bottom. Let's get back into the article.
Researchers Sasha Tetu, Katie Breakwell, Liam Elborn, Andrew Holmes, Michael Gillings, and Ian Paulson from Macquarie University are exploring how this alien ecosystem works. They published their findings this week in the Journal of International Society for Microbioecology, showing that an unusual combination of microbes thrive in the wee bubble caves in the underground system. Earlier studies on the community suggested that there was an unusual chemistry going on in the caves, but we didn't know how the microbes were making a living in the cave environment, says the lead scientist, Professor Ian Paulson of Macquarie University. In order to find this missing link, the team of researchers made use of a range of new technologies, such as next-generation sequencing of environmental DNA and scanning electron microscopy, to take an in-depth look at the composition of the Wee Bubby Cave slime community.
And as you look at it, it looks like strings or something attached. It's kind of wormy like. And this is the second time that they found some weird kind of slime. The first time it came from land, where the meteorites were. Now this is coming from deep underneath water. Let's move on.
They found a dominant group of organisms in the cave slimes, known as the Thermarchaeota. If I'm butchering the word, sorry. This community of microbes thrives in the total dark, independent of photosynthesis. This is the alien slime, cave slime under a microscope. The slime community survive by oxidizing ammonia in the salty water and are completely independent of sunlight and ecosystems on the surface.
As we move down, look at it. Looks like they got tentacles and it's growing, folks. They've never seen such a thing in their life.
Yeah. These are another of the alien slime communities found in the cave. It is thought that the inundations of the Nullarbor caves by the sea occurred a number of times in the past, and so researchers suggest that the wee bubby Thermarchaeota may have a marine origin. We know that the Nullarbor Plains karst system arose from the sea in the middle Miocene period, and so this may be a clue as to where the wee bubby Thermarchaeota came from, says Professor Paulson. The research team says this analysis shows that the organisms that make up the Wee Bubby Cave slime community survive by oxidizing ammonia in the salty cave water and are completely independent of sunlight and ecosystems on the surface. It just goes to show that life in the dark recesses of the planet comes in many strange forms, many of which are still unknown, says Professor Paulson.
And that's
Hmm.
back. They're trying to show you the past because,
The
like, we say, um, they haven't really explored the deep that much. This is a cave.
entrance. This is the entrance to the cave system under the Australia's Nullarbor Plain.
This is on land.
Hmm.
This is where they found it in Australia. All right, folks, let's move on. They found something else that's pretty deep too. We're about to get right into that. Um, they found a new mysterious bacteria in Antarctica Lake. They found it. Moscow found it. Let's get into it. Um,
Mysterious bacterium found in Antarctica lake. A new form of microbial life has been found in water samples taken from a giant freshwater lake hidden under kilometers of Antarctic ice, Russian scientists said Monday. Sergei Bulat and Valery Lukin said in a statement that the unidentified and unclassified bacterium has no relation to any of the existing bacterial types. They acknowledged, however, that extensive research of the microbe that was sealed under the ice for millions of years will be necessary to prove the find and determine the bacterium's characteristics. New samples of water retrieved from Lake Vostok earlier this year are expected to be delivered to St. Petersburg in May aboard a Russian ship. The Russian team reached the surface of the subglacial lake in February 2012 after more than 2 decades of drilling, a major achievement hailed by scientists around the world. They touched the lake water Sunday at a depth of 12,366 feet, 3,769 meters, about 800 miles, 1,300 kilometers, east of the South Pole in the central part of the continent. Scientists hope the lake might allow a glimpse into microbial life forms that existed before the Ice Age and could have survived in the dark depths of the lake, despite its high pressure and constant cold. Conditions similar to those which also are believed to be found under the ice crust on Mars, Jupiter's moon Europa, and Saturn's moon Enceladus. At 250 kilometers (160 miles) long and 50 kilometers (30 miles) wide, Lake Vostok is similar in size to Lake Ontario. It is kept from freezing into a solid block by the kilometers, miles thick crust of ice across it that acts like a blanket, keeping in heat generated by geothermal energy underneath. Some have voiced concern that the more than 60 tons of lubricants and antifreeze used in the drilling may contaminate the lake, but the Russian researchers have insisted that their technology is environmentally secure. They said water from the lake rushed up the borehole once the drill touched the surface and froze, safely sealing the lubricants from the lake's pristine waters. Bulat and Lukin said the research team has done a meticulous analysis of the samples to differentiate bacteria contained in lubricants from what they hoped could be a trace of new life forms. Initial studies only spotted bacteria associated with the lubricants, but scientists said they eventually found one bacterium that didn't fall into any of the known categories.
Alright, folks. That's strange. We're going to bring more on this research. We're going to have the links at the bottom. And every single day we're finding more mysterious things. From the mysterious smells to this new mysterious bacteria. That means that it done grew over time, folks. Alright? Please rate, subscribe, comment, follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Blogspot, Critterbox, Gallic Production. Um, Please subscribe to Mystiques and Astrology and Astronomy channel. Those are my backup channels if anything happened. I see a lot of people did that since I've been gone for a few days. Well, everyone out there, be prepared. We're seeing the terraforming of Earth. Earth is heating up. It's letting all this new stuff get found. With all our technology, we're finding what the old world was. Alright? What the old world was. The earth is reawakening the abyss. This is the movement. Movement. Till next time. Facing off. Be safe and be prepared.